It's Saturday morning at 10 a.m., so you know what that means. It's time for What's Up, Ocala? With tens of thousands of viewers every month on our YouTube channel and millions so far on TikTok, we are joined by our host, local owner, and broker of Great Expectations Realty, Andrea Praber.
Good morning and welcome to What's Up, Ocala. I'm your host, Andrea Praber, and today I have a very special guest. Lauren, why don't you tell everyone who you are and where you are working?
Okay, great. I am Lauren Diorio. I'm the CEO for the Community Foundation for Ocala, Marion County. And we're just down the road, closer to Ocala, but we serve not only, down here in Bellevue, we serve everywhere in Marion County and have resources for nonprofits outside of the county as well.
That is amazing. There are quite a few nonprofits in the area, but it still seems like we can always use more. Is that odd?
Well, I would say that we have a lot of nonprofits, a lot of great nonprofits. I'm finding that some are doing duplication of services. True. And I think to your point where we could use more is who's filling the gaps.
Yes.
And so, that's a process, sitting down with nonprofits and saying, hey, maybe could you consider moving into this space?
Slightly alter what your goals are and your roadmap so that it actually fits a niche market that we don't actually have.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you seeing as a major need right now?
So right now, I think it's just looking at how the nonprofits are operating. A lot has happened starting in 2025, moving into this year.
Yes.
We've had a lot of nonprofits that have lost federal funding. And we had some nonprofits that actually relied the majority of their revenue streams on that. So it's been a bit of an issue. We've lost some reoccurring donations for some of the nonprofits. But I think the nonprofits are resilient and they're leaning into kind of a lot of resources that are available, especially through the Community Foundation. We tackle this kind of as a two-head resource. While we're working with the nonprofits, the other thing that all community foundations do is we work with funders, donors, whether those are individuals, corporate funders. We actually house legacy funds. To help connect the donors with the nonprofits.
Right.
So in looking at, donor and funder behavior, that's been kind of a real focus for us since all of this upheaval in the past 2 years, helping nonprofits to understand, diversifying revenue streams. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
No, because that basket might disappear overnight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we work very closely with them to start talking about what would it look like, if all of your in-person fundraising went away, which we all know that happened during COVID.
Yes.
And a lot of our nonprofits, because of the nature of how they build their budgets every year, they always look at those fundraising events, estimate about how much revenue they're going to net from it.
Right.
And that's what they use to run their programs. So if you're doing all in-person fundraising and that all goes away, suddenly you don't have the revenue to run any of those. Yes,
wow.
Exactly.
They are starting not just from scratch, because some of the fundraising and stuff takes money in order to actually do the fundraising. So
absolutely.
They're actually negative.
Right.
Wow, that's really scary. Because if you are in any way involved with fundraising and charitable organizations, the one thing you don't want to do is let the bank account go negative. Yeah. That is not a good thing. That is a very dangerous thing, actually.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous for profit business.
Yeah,
it's like, hey,
it's never good. It's never good, but
dipping into those savings. So,
yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy. So if somebody were to come to you and say, I don't have kids, but I want to leave a legacy. But there's so many, I'm overwhelmed by the choices. I don't have, a specific charity. I have a few ideas, but what would you do? How would you handhold them and get all their, there's got to be paperwork involved with this as well. Is that something you guys do? Like, what do you do?
Absolutely. So we work with all individuals in that manner, whether they're working with an estate planning attorney and trying to work out an estate plan, or if they're just simply coming in saying, I've got a heart to give back, I just don't know where to start. We sit down and work with individuals, start talking about a giving plan. You know, and it goes even as far back as, so give me an idea of what was it like for you growing up? How did you give back? Who influenced you in that?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah. And so we talk a lot about that. And then we usually talk a little bit about, well, what areas of giving do they find important? Because, you know, not everybody, you know, might have a heart for, let's say, education. They might have a heart here, but, you know, what we then do is look at the nonprofits that we know fairly well that have programs that would meet that passion. And typically what I'll do is say, here's a list. Let's take a look at it. Here's the programs. Come back. And then let's talk again. Let's have another meeting. And once you've had a chance to really review a lot of the information I've given you, and let's go from there and see if maybe there's a couple of them that we might be able to introduce you to. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's as simple as just a virtual introduction through an email. Sometimes it's, hey, let's set up a tour. Let's go in and see what they're doing.
It sounds like this is a fairly common situation for you.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Yeah. I would have never thought that. Normally, I've always noticed that if I have any money whatsoever, there's at least 50 different people telling me exactly how I should spend my money. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that anyone with a large quantity of money would have that tenfold. So to have somebody not know what to do with their legacy, with the money that they're leaving behind, it's kind of surprising.
And nobody thinks about it until you're kind of at a certain age. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty for, you know, even, I mean, think about the sale of a house too. We work with a lot of individuals that, you know, maybe it's a second property or maybe they're a developer. You know, part of that piece is if the developer or that individual has a heart for philanthropy, and let's say they're selling a property, if before the contract goes in, you can have the appropriate wording, working with that real estate attorney, to be able to take some of that money and place it into a fund, maybe that with us or somewhere else, it becomes a tax donation. So it offsets the tax event. So if they have a big gain or something like that, you know, and they're feeling like, hey, I want to give back. I'm going to give back anyway. Right. Yeah. But why don't we do it this way so I'm not paying extra money to Sam?
Exactly.
So
they get to dictate where the money goes instead of it just being taken.
You have control over that.
Oh, that's clever.
And usually it just takes, you know, a conversation ahead of time. People don't think about the little things that could potentially be given. When I worked years ago at the school district foundation, I knew a lot of the teachers, you know, they don't make a whole lot, but the school district gives them a life insurance policy. Mm-hmm. So when you think about that policy has beneficiaries.
Right.
So you can actually assign a percentage of that life insurance policy to a charity upon your passing. Your family will get a certain amount, and you can assign another. So think about if you're a teacher and don't have any children. Well, this is perfect. You can assign, you know, portion it to a nonprofit, or you can assign it to your fund, and it goes to the fund. And then we have instructions how we're going to give that out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing. And the nonprofits. You know, especially the ones, we've got a lot of good nonprofits in our community.
We do. And it's, to me, it's overwhelming because, you know, I want to, you know, try and highlight them and I bring them on the show and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that is really amazing. And some of them are like nationwide and it's right here. Mm-hmm. It started in Ocala or they're based in Ocala and they're helping communities all over the place. And it's just absolutely exciting. But at the same time, if you have so many wonderful people that have things where they're giving back, like how do you possibly choose?
Right.
It completely overwhelming. So it's really cool that you will assist to make sure that they have all of their ducks in a row and to make sure that they continue to do that and to continue, you know, because sometimes the person that started it may not be the one that continues it and may not have the expertise or the know-how to continue doing it as they should, running it like a business, as you mentioned.
Exactly.
So to have maybe a little bit of oversight from a third party might be a good idea, especially if you're no longer there to ask the questions, you know, and it's just your money. that's really, really, really exciting for so many ways. That's great.
Absolutely. And I would love to, somebody asked me the other day, well, it's just Ocala, Marion County. I've got this nonprofit that I work with and it's in Sumter County. I'm like, okay. Sumter, they can come in and get resources at the resource center.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing professional development, we're doing consulting. Our grant services department is incredible. Everything from let's look and see what's out there for you for grants to you've never written one before. Let's put you through a grant readiness course and then give you a scan that's just customized to your nonprofit. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're, and it doesn't have to be just Marion County. Because we realize a lot of people in this area, they contribute to other organizations outside of the area as well. So similar to, I'm not originally from Florida, I'm from Kentucky. So I went to the University of Louisville. I'm still going to use my donor advised fund and give money to my alma mater.
And they were like, you know what? I have questions and I would really love to learn more about this and how I can get involved. How do they contact you?
So the best way, you can always go to the website, which is ocalafoundation.org. There's a lot of information there. I has my email information. We have a way to just contact through the website. But I think people should check it out. Whether you're a donor looking to be connected with a nonprofit, or you're a nonprofit looking to provide new resources to that nonprofit to help run more like a business. I think that's the key. That's the way to find us. We also have a Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter,
all the stuff.
Okay. And check us out. We've got an initiative that we're in the middle of right now called Ready for Success. It is an initiative where we support nonprofits that are providing direct resources to our school-based children, whether they're public or private, families that are really struggling, but it's resources. It was a committee selected group of nonprofits. We held informational meetings so nonprofits could come and listen and understand the initiative. But if they were serving and they felt like they met the initiative, they applied. And this year they selected 4 nonprofits that we're gonna support to the end of June through a campaign to raise bits of money, financial pieces for them so that they can purchase resources, or you can actually go and one of these wish lists. Each one of them has done through Amazon. So,
wow.
Yeah. So in the past we used to do like the supply boxes, but the problem with the supply boxes is, everybody means well and has a heart, but sometimes we would go and pull out like used pens and things like that. And it's, that's kind of hard when you're trying to give it, out to a child. So this way, this Amazon wish list for these 4 entities, it's what they know they need. It's brand new, and individuals have the opportunity to actually select it and have it delivered directly to the nonprofit, so they can actually put it into backpacks or any of the item or places that they are. But those 4 entities right now that were selected, the Rock program, you may have had them on your show before. Stuff the Bus.
Definitely have done Stuff the Bus before.
Yes.
Actually physically stuffing the bus.
Yes. The public schools through their Families in Transition with Thomas Butler. And then Marion County Children's Alliance, because they are actually serving areas that are hard to get to, that are underserved. And those 4 entities will be the recipients of that. Now, a lot of people ask me, so you're just going to collect this money, run it through, and give it out. Yeah, but you know what? These 4 have committed on the back end for anybody that's contributed to show where they use the money and what impact it's made. And that's the key, right? Back to that return on investment.
Yes.
So you can find Ready for Success on our webpage under events. And there's information on how the community can get involved to support them. And like I said, we'll do a caravan right after 4th of July to deliver the physical checks and wrap it up that way so they can get things ready for the new school year.
Oh wow.
And then from there we're going to transition to Give for Marion.
Yes.
So everybody better be ready for that.
That's intense. Okay, that is intense for everybody. So for people just coming to Marion County or just moving here, please explain for them what is this monstrosity.
Yes. So Give for Marion is our virtual giving day to support all nonprofits that serve Marion County. It's 33 hours of giving. We have not only businesses out there that are the influencer by putting up matching dollars or doing power hours or social media prizes, but the nonprofits themselves are out trying to come up with a strategy for their fundraising in 33 hours.
Try and get as possible. Because when you go to give, you put which charity that you're going to be giving to, and it's like a social media telethon.
Yes, that's probably a good way to put it, like the Jerry Lewis telethon of old times. Yes,
but it's also like you can't, honestly, as somebody from the outside, not having anything to do with it, you can't really tell who's in charge. You really can't tell who's actually doing the telethon. Because it's just, everybody's like, did you give? Did you give? Everybody's just talking about all the different groups you go to. They're just, it's absolute mayhem for like 33 hours. The entire county just goes into
billboards.
Like the charities go into like Hyper Bunny on, espresso or something. It's crazy. Who did that? Who came up with that?
So we before
I don't know. It's not been going on for that long, but it has become its own monster.
So the community foundation had started researching it because other community foundations around the country do these giving days. Okay. COVID hit, and we were just talking about how nonprofits lost all of their in-person fundraising, and then all of a sudden they were like, what are we going to do? It's not, what do we do now? And, we were trying to help them.
Blind panic.
At that point, we were like, look, we've got to pull the trigger. We're going to have to do a giving day just to help them have a new way to give. And we put that puppy together in 2 months.
Dear
2 months.
God. So you guys are the ones.
Yeah, so we put it together in 2 months. So
I did not. That is amazing.
Yeah, so it's been going on for this will be our. Is this going to be our 6th year? No, it'll be our 7th year. Yeah, May. Let's see, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've through that 7 or 6 years, we've raised a little over $8 million that all go 100% goes to nonprofits. Yeah. People kept saying, "Well, I see the numbers up there, and it says you gave three.
Yeah, they have a counting like clock on like social media and stuff. It pops up everywhere.
Go to you go to the website because it has a dedicated website. It's like give the number 4 and then Marion.org. And during that 33 hours, you're just watching the donations go. It's spinning and matching moments when there's a match. Like when we have a match, the start of the hour, as soon as it hits, some of these match up to $50 donations for any nonprofit that receives a donation until the money's gone. That thing just spins like a spin the wheel, roulette wheel.
It's really fun to watch. And you think, you go ahead and put $50 in or whatever you can do. But it's just crazy because everybody's doing it. We have over 400,000 residents in Marion County. And I swear they're all on there for 33 hours. It's a thing. It's become its own thing.
I've had executives say that they're sitting in meetings and they've got their computer up and they're just constantly like it's like gambling. It's
addictive to watch.
Yeah, it's like what's going on now?
It really is. And then
what's next?
They'll do a screenshot and they'll put it on their social media and they'll be like, I gave, and and it's like, so you can see how it just goes all over. Everybody shares it like crazy. It's just a lot of fun. The nonprofits, they push it like crazy because, it could be coming to them. It could be going to a different nonprofit. Absolute crazy mayhem. So you guys are the ones.
We're the ones doing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're always looking for those partners that want to get involved at a bigger level if they can't. And they look, we really support just like a couple of nonprofits. We encourage them, go to the nonprofits and become one of those internal match partners for them because the people in businesses don't realize that they have influence. If everybody in this county gave $10, it would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so when you can influence others to give,
right,
especially for some of these missions that are doing every day, 7 days a week, and it's most things that people don't want to be doing, but it's so necessary. And again, like I have to reiterate, when you see those numbers, we, the Community Foundation, get nothing out of it.
Really?
We're here to help promote nonprofits, donors, and
so you created the monster and got nothing.
Listen, it's for the community.
Do you get any sleep during those 33 hours?
No, we don't get sleep a week up to that. So this year,
you have no idea. Like, y'all really have absolutely no idea. If you're not in this area, it is absolute mayhem, and it kind of sneaks up on us each year. Just all of a sudden, oh, we're in it. Oh, okay, it's time. It's now, and then then it's like a deluge. Everybody's in it, and it's almost like a game.
Oh really. It is. Well, and there's the Power Hour prizes are pretty cool too, because each hour there's a new prize that nonprofits can actually have a chance to win, and it just depends on what it is. Sometimes it's whoever has the most number of donations. Sometimes it's whoever had the donation from the furthest point away from Ocala. It may be whoever has donations from multiple states, who has the most states. It's limitless. Like, there's always something, and we try to have as much of that going on as possible, so every nonprofit feels like they have a chance to win. Even at the luncheon that we host the first day, we always have businesses that'll come in and say, I want to sponsor the raffle. And the raffle is just, hey, we're going to put your name in. If you're here as a nonprofit, put your nonprofit's name in, and we're just going to randomly draw. Mm-hmm. And if we draw your name, you're going to get an additional $500 added to your...
That's awesome.
Yeah. With us, we're a 501c3. Oh, and that's the biggest piece of it when you talk about legacy. Yeah. Once they put the money with us, the reason why they can offset that, from a tax event standpoint, is we will produce that tax letter showing that they did give, even though it's going to their fund, that they then get to give the money out in the community, they still get the tax deduction for it.
I see.
It's a brilliant strategy for individuals
it's actually
that want to give.
Quite clever.
I mean, that's the beauty of what we call a donor advised fund. Anybody can set that up, and you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be, like for me, like the Lauren DiOrio Fund. I have a donor advised fund that my husband and I have. We did it because we like to give back to the community, but we also wanted our kids to be involved. Right. And it's called the DiOrio Family Foundation Fund. Okay. So it can, we have as little as $5,000 to open it, but you put it in there and it gives you an opportunity to let that money grow a little bit until you want to give it out. But, then when you give it out, you're giving it out strategically. You can think about, well, who do I want to give it to? What are they doing?
So how do I want to, like they get to create their own mini foundation.
Yes.
Oh, that is really cool.
Exactly. And a whole lot of people don't know about it. That's the thing. They're starting to hear a little bit. The nonprofits understand it a little bit better because they're receiving checks from these funds.
Where does that money come from, and can we get more?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good conversation with their donors.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you have a donor advised fund.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is just absolutely amazing.
Kind of taking us through a little bit of a wormhole.
Well, I mean, because I have so many people that I work with that are investors, and at the end of their investment journey, where they're like, okay, I have done all of this, and, I don't have kids and I don't have this, they're coming to me going, okay, well, I'm setting up a trust, but I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And it's like, to have somebody give advice and to help them and hold their hand through it is huge. But I'm not the one. Like, I would have absolutely no idea. No idea. I would not. I know how to help you spend your money on more real estate. I do not know how to help you put it into charity. So it's very, very cool that you have that as a resource for people.
Yeah. And, I think that's part of the reason why we work with real estate attorneys, or not even real estate, but estate planning attorneys, CPAs. A lot of times when a family comes in to meet with them, they'll be like, well, where do you give? And it's a little kind of a gray area for a lot of them to say, well, I give here, you got to give your money to this organization.
Yeah.
It feels weird. So for a lot of them that want to be, kind of do the ethical thing, they'll talk to us and say, look, they want to set up this fund, end of life, this is what they want to, it sounds like what they want to do. But they have no idea which nonprofits. So we're going to just make sure the money comes to the community foundation. I want you to start meeting with my client. And then what I do is, like I said, same process. We explore. Once we have a giving plan kind of highlighted, I share that with, their attorney, their CPA, maybe even their wealth advisor. And they can change it at any time before they pass, who they're going to give it to. Right. But at least we've got something in writing that says, this is where what we're gonna do when they finally pass.
It sounds so very complicated. It's very helpful to have somebody be able to walk hand in hand with them and have the resources. Okay, here's an estate planning attorney. Here is the paperwork that you're going to need to do. Here's the tax advantages for it. Here's the different charities and stuff. That is just absolutely fascinating. I mean, I've never heard of anything like that before, so I'm very, very excited.
Well, and while we do have so much in resources for our nonprofits, and that's kind of almost been for us a way for us to help strengthen the nonprofit sector, make them run like a business, give them all these resources. We have a grant services department. The reality is we really have an obligation to our donors to make sure that if they're going to plant this money into the community and leave legacy giving, that they're getting a good return on their investment. And it's very transparent that this nonprofit is doing the right thing and running like a business. Nobody likes to feel like they've invested money into something that's just a fly-by-night organization.
Or if they're, squandering the money that was left. I mean,
exactly.
It's their entire life accumulation of wealth.
Exactly.
And, it's almost like they're leaving it. They can't leave it to a child if they don't have a child or, for whatever reason. So to squander that or to think that's horrific. That's crazy.
But it happens. And even if they do have children, we have a lot of our clients that'll say, I've already kind of set the groundwork and my children are going to be taken care of, but I've got, 10-15% of my estate. I want to make sure that I'm giving back. Oh, wow. So it's just that planning process. Just as you would plan to make sure your children are okay, you're planning to help our community be okay.
That is awesome. Yeah. So they basically set up essentially a mini foundation through you guys.
Like a fund.
And it's just continued and continues. And, as long as the fund is, has sufficient funds to continue going, then they can actually, long after they're no longer with us, it's still continuing to pay out towards
that. Donor advised fund is used while they're alive. They can give little bits out. They get a feel for it. The beauty is they don't have to ever write any checks, but everybody knows it's coming from their fund. Oh, and we act as the gatekeeper. So without having people come to them, ask them for things, they can say, we do all of our giving through the community foundation. Just drop the resources off there. We take it and give it to them, and then when they decide, we deliver the message, whether or not.
Oh, that's
which how awkward that can be when you got to tell somebody, hey, not this time. They let us do that. Yes. So it works out really well. But long term, if that fund is established, like when they pass, if they've got a big chunk of money, and let's say they've only identified one nonprofit that really holds their heart, that really have a passion for, we talk about things like, okay, well, if we take that chunk of money, we stick it in a fund and make it a designated endowment fund for that nonprofit, that means that basis, that principal amount that stays in there will always be there, and we just send the interest earned every year off of this fund to the nonprofit, so they know they can budget that every year this family has left this gift in their name that's coming to the nonprofit.
Wow.
It's pretty great. I mean,
I can just tell by the look on your face, you just love that so much.
Well, and a lot of people will say, some donors will say, I don't want anybody to know that I'm giving. But you have to really, over time, you learn when you're working with donors, you got to watch body language and what's really being said. Some of them love to have their name on things, and that's okay. That's their preference. And I look at it from a standpoint of they are trying to influence others in the community to give.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. I have some that tell me I don't want my name on things, but then when you start reading the fine lines, like, okay, well, you really do. Okay, yeah, I want that.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I am so excited that I got to meet you. And so when do we get the sneak peek? When exactly do the 33 hours begin for this year?
Sure. It's September 15th, which is a Tuesday. Starts at 10 a.m. We'll kick it off with a big matching moment. And it goes till the 16th at 7 o'clock when we'll shut down the clock. But there's going to be plenty of time to give. Lots of things. We're going to have some we've got some ideas about some fun things, new things. Yeah. So like I said, if there's businesses or anybody out there that wants to jump on board and be a part of the fun, reach out. I would love to have you be that encouragement for our nonprofits, or if you want to be hooked up with a nonprofit to really help them, love to be able to make that introduction for you.
That is awesome. Important. So what about the nonprofits out there that maybe they're new nonprofits, they're just getting started, they have the passion and the hope and the joy and all of that. How do they get started?
How do they get started? Mm-hmm. I always recommend for nonprofits, we have something called the Nonprofit Business Council. It actually started at the CEP with a group of nonprofit leaders. They birthed us over into the community foundation. It kind of made sense because nonprofits are aligning with donors while, the CEP is doing fabulous stuff with economic growth.
Yeah.
So we, that group is now over 170 nonprofits strong.
Wow.
But the basis of that group, they meet once a month. It's about networking. They share best practices. And we have educational pieces, but also networking pieces. They follow a lot of the guidelines of what we call the Roadmap to Success. It's a document, a publication that we developed. It basically just says, here's the areas that you need to, that'll help you run like a business, things that, like governance, HR, financial management, fundraising, all the stuff. And we try to structure some of those education pieces around that. So that's a great area. Get involved. It's really easy. For a small nonprofit, it's $75 for the entire year to be a part of it. And anybody from the organization, multiple people can go for $75. That's the best deal in town.
Yeah, that just makes sure that they've got something.
Exactly. And then the other thing is, take advantage of the resources we have at the Resource Center at the Community Foundation. We do professional development courses. We have an academy. It's all based around that roadmap again. Or if you are struggling trying to find revenue, take a look at some of the stuff that's being offered through our grant services department. Nobody thinks about grants. They're like, oh yeah, I gotta write a grant. But it's really an art. And if you don't understand completely what the funder's mindset is, or if you're grant ready, it can be a problem. So we want to make sure that we can offer those tools, whether it's the course or scanning or even coaching. We've got, people that are willing to walk alongside that nonprofit and say, look, you write the pieces, let us review it. Let's talk about, well, this is what the funder said. This doesn't quite, but let's tweak it.
It doesn't quite line up with
we'll get you through. We'll get you over the finish line. Right. So there's a lot of different things.
That's awesome.
I would just say, don't be hesitant. There's something for everybody. Check it out, and we're here to help. If you're willing to, take recommendations and do the work, we're willing to roll up our sleeves and walk alongside you.
Well, it definitely looks like you guys are rolling up your sleeves in the community. That is for sure. So one more time, what is your website? So the
website is ocalafoundation.org.
Easy.
You could always Google Community Foundation for Ocala, Marion, and it'll pop up too. But yeah, check us out. You can find all sorts of resources there, whether you're a donor, whether you're professional advisors, if you're a CPA or attorney or whatever, you can find information there, which is also interesting because we also run the Estate Planning Council for Marion County.
Oh, wow.
So any of those professionals that want to kind of network, they can come to those quarterly meetings or the socials that they hold in conjunction with the Bar Association.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in here. I cannot tell you how excited I am to hear all the amazing things that you guys are doing, and hopefully maybe help some people to get in contact with you. And
don't be a stranger. We're here.
Yeah.
Reach out.
And yeah, can't wait until September 15th. That's always a fun time. So,
oh yes, there's a lot of fun surprises coming.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much for tuning in. We will be back same time, same place next week. And we will be talking about real estate and Ocala and Marion County and all the great things that we have while we are living and loving here. So we will see you next week.
Awesome. Bye.
You've been listening to What's Up Ocala? Follow us all week on Andrea Praber's YouTube channel and TikTok. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. on What's Up Ocala.